some more best of 3 historic Merfolk. Been on a pretty good run with the deck that we're on right now after adding Phyrexian Revokers. Now we're seeing a few more control decks in the meta with the release of OTJ, and we'll see if we keep hitting that and may have to make some tweaks. And here we go. We're playing against Requisence, number 25. Hopefully this is a good match. We have not actually come up against this player before, so we don't have an idea what they're on. We're going to take the play, of course. No companion, no specific hint on what they're on. Now this hand gives us 3 castable fish with Silver Gills to help dig out of the lack of a second blue mana for that Pearl Trident and Trickster, so we're going to keep. And let's see how it goes. Oh, 2 quick mulligans. Is he on some sort of combo deck? We will find out. We're going to broadcast immediately that we're on Merfolk. Watery Grave, we always like to see that early. There's our second blue pip. So we're going to reveal another Silvergill Adept here. It's not the most threatening card, so hopefully he is on something where this card advantage matters. Mill. Oh, no, not Mill. Dredge. This is always an interesting matchup. It comes down largely to how good their hits are. 2 prized amalgams into play and a wonder in the yard. So those prized amalgams are flying. So in the question here, we're going to be taking 7 a turn. We're on a 3-turn clock, maybe a 2-turn clock by the time he plays. Do we try and slow him down with some tricksters or play a Reach? I think here we play the Reach, and then after that, we try and buy a turn with tricksters and the Hex Catcher. Let's get Reach in. We can't block, so we're going to swing in with the Silvergill. If he blocked it with a Narcomoeba, that'd be great, but it'd be crazy to do that. All right, let's see how this next turn goes. I'm impressed. I don't know that I've seen a Dredge deck that high up in the ranks. All right, we're going to get in with both the Reach and the Silvergill, and then next turn cast a Trickster and a Hex Catcher to tap down those 2 amalgams. In for 5. Doesn't look like he has anything he wants to do at instant speed here. We're worried about the beginning of combat step, so we don't have to set a stop. Our big risk is if he decided to hit the Reach with a removal spell of some sort. All right, he's got lots of power on the field. Secret Keeper, that's fine. We don't need to mess around with that. Creeping Chill, we have to let resolve. That's going to bring in any Silver Smotes in the graveyard. I think there's only the 1. All right, so beginning of combat, we are going to cast a Trickster, untap the Cavern of Souls, tap that prized amalgam, and then Hex Catcher, tap another prized amalgam. So we've got 4, 8, 11, 12, 13 damage on the field. He's going to play the Secret Keeper. So unless whatever that 1 card he has in his hand can deal with the Master of the Pearl Trident, we've got lethal through his blockers here. We love decks that play islands. Activate Mutavault and get in with the team. All right, we got their game 1 on the play against this blue-black Dredge deck. And I'm calling it Dredge. It's not really Dredge anymore, but I don't have a better name for decks that recur prized amalgams out of the graveyard. So obviously we're going to bring in our graveyard hate, our 2 unlicensed hearses. We'll bring in Tishana's Tidebinder that can keep things like Narcomoebas from firing, crippling chills. Better against their slow plays, but it's fine overall. Sleep isn't useful in this matchup. We're not usually blocking. This is overall going to be a pretty fast match. We don't want to hit those Silvergill Adepts, so we're going to take them out, and I think 1 Shoreline Scout here. The question is whether or not I bring in Tail Swipes to let my creatures fight against theirs. I don't think that's really worth it. The extra power is nice, but if we're playing tail swipes at instant speed on their turn, we're not usually going to be a lot bigger. And if we're playing them on our turn, I'd almost rather just have something else to stay ahead. So we're going to go with that limited sideboard plan and see how it goes. They had a quicker sideboard decision as well. It's a nice thing about playing at the top ranks of Mythic. They usually know what they want to do. So we're going to keep pretty much anything with an unlicensed hearse, and a 1-drop is even better. I don't know that we'll get all the way up to that collected company, and obviously he's going to have some answers for artifact-based graveyard hate, because that's pretty common. Oh, we like a bunch of mulligans. The more of those he starts with, the better off we're going to be. So he's starting on 4 on the play. But with a Secret Keeper right away, hits a Narcomoeba and a Creeping Chill. Lucky for us, no Prized Amalgam or Silver Smote. So Sanctum, Cenote Scout, hitting that Merfolk Trickster on the draw there is going to be great. We're actually going to pitch the Tunnel Guide here. We want interaction more than we need lands, and that's going to be a little slower than we want to play. All right, he's glimpsing himself. No triggers on the glimpse. We just got away with it. So we're going to play a Mutavault as an untapped land and an unlicensed hearse and start getting in with that Cenote Scout. We generally have to hold the hearse up until he tries to do something. So we'll see what triggers off of this otherworldly gaze, and then we have to make a reactive decision. Well, with a hearse on the table, no mana, and starting at 4, he just decides to scoop and give us the win, and that takes us into the top 100. That was a nice, quick game against Blue-Black Dredge.